Kurumzari. Hi everyone, I am Nena Laikangbam. Today, I am really excited to share with you about something interesting, vegetable marketing. This conversation takes place between a young customer named Henthoi and a vegetable vendor who is respectfully addressed as Ima, which means mother. The dialogue is set in a local market where Henthoi inquires about the prices of vegetables and make a few polite requests while shopping. The exchange reflects everyday interactions in a friendly and respectful tone, using common Manipuri expressions related to buying and bargaining. Before we dive into the main conversation, let's take a quick look at some of the vocabulary used in it. That will make it easier for you to understand how these words come up in context. Kaya means how much. Mayam means many. Khara, which means some. Khajik means little or few. Mapum means whole. Tangkai means half. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the conversation part. Mana masing leiba, which means vegetable marketing. Henthoi. Ima, kobi asi kezida kaya pi. Henthoi. Mother, how much is the kevis for 1 kilo? Ima. Kezida nifuni ibema. Mother, it's 40 rupees per kilo dear. Henthoi. Hawai trak adusu khara tambiyu. Henthoi. Could you give me some peanuts, please? Ima. Masi lupa kungini. Mother, it's just 20 rupees. Henthoi. Hawai trak khazik tanga hapiyu. Henthoi. Could you please add a little more peanut? Ima. Hoi hoi. Mother, yes, of course. Henthoi. Kamen asinba kilo makai amagi tambiyu. Henthoi. Please give me half a kilo of tomatoes. Ima. Hoi ibema mairen mapum asisu lauro. Mother, of course dear, take this whole pumpkin along too. Henthoi. Ima, tangkai oina hapiyu. Henthoi. Mother, can you please give me just half of it? Ima. Kari kari watli yadadra yengu ibema. Mother. Is there anything else left to buy? Please take once, dear. Henthoi. Yarani ima mayam asi kaya tare. Henthoi. That should be enough, mother. What's the total for everything? Ima. Punna lupa chamaga kuntare ibema. Mother. Altogether, it comes to 120 rupees dear. Henthoi. Paisa sida laizare ima. Henthoi. Here's the money, mother. Alright, let's go back to all the dialogues we have seen so far and take a closer look at the words and phrases. This will help you understand how they are actually used in the conversation. Alright, let's begin with the first dialogue. This is where the customer Henthoi asks about the price of the items. Henthoi. Ima, kobi asi kezida kaya pi, which means, mother, how much is the cabbage for 1 kilo? Here, Ima usually means my mother, but in this case, it's being used to address the lady selling vegetables, kind of like saying ma'am or auntie. The phrase kobi asi refers to this cabbage. Kaya means how much, and the verb pi is like asking, can you give, in a questioning tone. So when you put it all together, Henthoi is basically asking, mother, how much is the cabbage for 1 kilo? Alright, now let's check out the second dialogue. This is where the lady vendor responds. Ima, kezida nifuni ibema, which means it's 40 rupees per kilo dear. Here, kejida means per kilogram and nifuni means it's 40. Remember, we mentioned earlier that ni works like a be verb in Manipuri. And ibema is a sweet, affectionate way to address a younger girl or woman, kind of like saying dear. So, the vendor is basically saying it's 40 rupees per kilo dear. Okay, next up is the third part. Hanthoi is looking to get some peanuts here. Hanthoi, hawai thrak adusu khara tambiyu. Hanthoi, could you give me some peanuts, please? So, in this line, hawai tharak means peanut, and adusu adds the sense of that too. Then, khara means some. Now, the verb tambiyu is interesting. It's made up of tam, which is the root for give. Be an honorific suffix that makes it polite, and you, which turns it into a polite command. So, together, it's like saying, please give. Put it all together, and Hanthoi is saying, could you give me some peanut, please? Alright, now let's head into the fourth dialogue. This is where the lady vendor responds, Ima, masi lupa kungini. Mother, it's just 20 rupees. So here, masi means this, and lupa kungini means it costs 20 rupees. So when the lady vendor replies, she is basically saying, it's just 20 rupees. Alright, let's look at the fifth dialogue. This is where Hanthoi politely asks the lady vendor if she could add a little more. Hanthoi, hawai tharak khajiktanga hapiyu, which means, could you please add a little more peanuts? So, in this line, khajiktanga means a little more. Khajik is little, tang adds the sense of only, and ga works like an and to connect the idea. And like we saw before, hapiyu means please add. So when you put it all together, Hanthoi is politely saying, could you please add little more peanuts? And in the sixth dialogue, the lady vendor responds with a confirmation. Ima, hoi hoi. Mother, yes, of course. You probably remember that hoi means yes. It's used to confirm something in Manipuri. So here the lady vendor simply responds with yes, of course. Alright, now in the seventh dialogue, Hanthoi is looking to buy some tomatoes. Hanthoi, khamen asinba kilo makai amagi tambiyu, which means please give me half a kilo of tomatoes. So, in these lines, khamen asinba means tomato, and kilo makai amagi means half a kilo. And as we have seen before, tambiyu means please give. Put it all together, and Hanthoi is saying, please give me half a kilo of tomatoes. Now, in the seventh dialogue, the lady vendor replies and suggests that Hanthoi should buy the pumpkin too. Ima, hoi ibema mairen mapum asisu lauro, which means, of course dear, take this whole pumpkin along too. So, just a quick reminder, hoi means yes and ibema is like saying dear. In this line, mairen mapum asisu means this whole pumpkin too. The verb lauro means take. Lau is the root for take, and ro adds the imperative or command tone. So, when the lady vendor says this, she is gently suggesting, of course dear, take this whole pumpkin along too. Alright, so in the eighth dialogue, Hanthoi responds politely. Hanthoi, ima, tangkai oina hapiyu, which means, mother, can you please give me just half of it? So, in this line, tangkai means half and oina means as. You already know ima means mother and hapiyu is please add or please give. Put it all together and Hanthoi is politely saying, mother, can you please give me just half of it? Okay, so in the ninth dialogue, the lady vendor finally turns to Hanthoi and asks, Ima, kari kari watli ibema, mother, is there anything else left to buy there? So in this part, kari kari means what, which basically aids a plural sense like asking what's old things. The verb whatly means left to buy. What is the root meaning left or still remaining. And li is a marker that shows something is ongoing. Put together, the lady vendor is asking Hanthoi, is there anything else left to buy there? Alright, now in the 10 dialogue, Hanthoi lets her know he has done shopping and asks how much he needs to pay. Hanthoi, yarani ima mayam asi kaya tare, which means that should be enough, mother. What's the total for everything? So here, yarani ima means that should be enough, mother. Then mayam means many or a lot. Asi means this and kaya means how much. The verb tare comes from the root ta, which means to happen or occur, and re is the perfect aspect marker. So it gives the sense of has happened or has become. Put all that together and Hanthoi is basically saying that should be enough, mother. What's the total for everything? Now in the 11th dialogue, the lady vendor tells Hanthoi the total amount he needs to pay. Ima, punna lupa chamaga kuntare ibema, which means altogether it comes to 120 rupees there. So in this line, punna means altogether or totally, and lupa chamaga kun means 120 rupees. Tare, like we just saw, means has become or come to, and ibema is a way of saying there. So the lady vendor is gently saying altogether it comes to 120 rupees there. Alright, let's get to the final dialogue. This is where Hanthoi politely wrap up his shopping. Hanthoi, paisa sida laizare ima. Hanthoi, here's the money, mother. So in this line, paisa means money and sida means here. The verb laizare is made up of lay, which means have or exist. Ja, an honorific marker to show politeness, and re, which shows that the action is completed. And as you already know, ima is how Hanthoi respectfully addresses the lady vendor. So altogether, he is politely saying, here's the money, mother. This short yet meaningful dialogue not only teaches vocabulary and sentence structures commonly used in market interaction, but also introduces useful quantifiers and polite forms of request and response. It reflects the nuances of rural or semi-urban conversation in a Manipuri cultural setting. Such exchanges are great examples for learners to practice functional language and real-world conversation skills in a local market scenario. That is all from me for now. Thanks for your attention.